Now that the partial government shutdown is over, 800,000 federal employees can expect to get paid this week. But as CBS's Mark Liverman reports, another shutdown may be just around the corner.
Hundreds of thousands of federal employees are back at work and, more importantly, getting paid now that the longest government shutdown in history is over.
We hope that by the end of this week, all of the back pay will be made up, and of course, the next payroll will go out on time.
Pam Spranlin was furloughed from her job at the IRS in Ohio.
I'm glad to be going back to work. I was bored out of my mind. And I'm going back with pay.
The relief may be short-lived.
He's willing to do whatever it takes to secure the border.
Acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney says President Trump is prepared to shut down the government again to get border security funding. A bipartisan group of 17 Congress members has until February 15th to negotiate a deal.
I'm reasonably optimistic.
Republican Senator Roy Blunt is one of them.
So let's get started. Let's find solutions. Let's not continue to disappoint the people we work for by not showing the ability to work together.
President Trump told the Wall Street Journal he thinks the odds of them crafting something he can accept is less than 50-50. Asked if he would take something less than $5.7 billion for a border wall, Mr. Trump said, "I doubt it." Democrats have refused to offer any money for his wall.
That's a 5th century solution to a 21st century problem. What we want to support over the next few weeks is 21st century border security.
Last week, the president said he will declare a national emergency if necessary. Mark Liverman, CBS News.
The bipartisan group meets for the first time on Wednesday. Also in this morning's headlines, a Louisiana man faces first-degree murder charges in connection with the shooting deaths of 5 people. 21-year-old Dakota Terrio was arrested outside his grandmother's house in Virginia yesterday, 1,100 miles north of the alleged killing spree. Terrio is expected to be extradited back to Louisiana. And both Super Bowl teams are now in Atlanta preparing for the championship game. The Los Angeles Rams and New England Patriots will square off on Sunday. Each team held a rally in their hometown before leaving for Atlanta. Well, there's no doubt you heard the wind howling on Sunday. Its impact ranged from power outages to a closed Red Lodge Mountain. Those looking for a nice Sunday on the slopes had to rethink their plans. Red Lodge Mountain had to close due to the high winds up to 70 miles per hour. This is video of the Palisades chairlift on Sunday. You can see the 600-pound chairs rocking from the wind. Red Lodge Mountain Management released a statement apologizing for the closure. Back here in Billings, rock legend Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band are set to take the stage tomorrow night at the Rimrock Auto Arena. Ticket holders are being reminded Metro Park has VIP parking options. A VIP spot can be purchased in advance for $10 at the box office or for $15 at metropark.com. Lots will be open at 4:30 Tuesday evening. The Montana Pavilion lot and the Premium lot directly across from the arena are designated as VIP parking lots for the event. Metro Park first introduced VIP parking for the Garth Brooks concert. They say it's one way to make the entire experience pleasant.
We're trying to cut down on any kind of balled up lines to make it easy. It cuts down on the numbers of steps. And it's worked out very well for the shows like the Rod Stewarts and the Chris Stapletons and the Luke Bryans.
The day of the concert will be a busy time traffic-wise for attendees and commuters making their way past Metro Park. Bill recommends drivers just passing by stay on Main Street and avoid the Bench Connector before and after the concert. Well, before we take a break, living in Montana or Wyoming, it's likely you have a backpack or two, some treasured hiking boots, sleeping bags, or cross-country skis in storage. But what you probably don't realize is how all that gear is a growing part of our legacy and the centerpiece of a new exhibit at Fort Missoula, taking the history and the memories out of the attic. MTM's Dennis Bragg reports.
When Rachel Gross grew up in Southern California, she was convinced the best way to fulfill her outdoor ambitions was to buy the best gear to show expertise.
That wasn't always the case. I certainly, when I started backpacking many years ago, had people stop to ask me, why is your pack so big? Or why are you carrying that kind of stove? They had all sorts of questions for a young woman who was by herself on the trail, thinking that they knew much better.
Now her expertise is the gear. Her postdoctoral work at UM's Davidson Honors College is the history of outdoor gear, a forthcoming book, and fascinating new exhibit opening at the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula. While we spend billions on outdoor gear, it's a business building for decades.
People have been turning towards outdoor stores as a way of preparing for their wilderness adventures for more than a century.
The exhibit is total fascination for gearheads like me, from the brands like Kelty that set the standard for frame packs to amazing artifacts dating to the backpacking and climbing boom of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It's a step into another era where down was even more expensive, and you may